Losing a spouse is like losing a piece of your soul, because the person you shared your life with, your dreams and your everyday moments is gone, and suddenly everything in your world changes. So how do you cope when the world as you knew it no longer exists? Well, let's talk about that today. Hi everyone, I'm Diane Morgan and welcome to Nourish and Flourish, where we have real conversations about life, loss, and finding a way to rebuild after heartbreak. So today we're focusing on one of the most profound losses, the death of a spouse. You know, it's an incredibly tough journey, but you don't have to face it alone. The death of a spouse is one of the most heartbreaking experiences, and whether their death was sudden or the result of a long illness, the impact is life-altering. You know, one moment you're married and the next you're single, grieving and feeling completely lost and alone. The world around you changes in an instant, and you know, you might feel numb, fearful, shocked, and even guilty for being the one that's still alive. However, grief is deeply personal and there's no right or wrong way to feel. Just like your fingerprints, your grief is unique to you. Now, you may experience some physical symptoms such as trouble sleeping, loss of appetite, or difficulty concentrating. And emotionally, you might feel like you're on a terrifying roller coaster. One minute you're up, the next minute you're plummeting into anxiety and overwhelm, feeling lost and lonely on this journey. But remember, this is your grief, and it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling, and all feelings are valid. When we marry, most of us imagine spending the rest of our lives with our spouse. We get used to their voice and their presence and the small everyday moments we share, like telling stories over dinner, sharing a smile, making plans together. But when they're suddenly gone, the silence around us can be smothering. The routines you once had now feel empty, and the empty space in your heart is a constant reminder of what you've lost. You see, it's not just about missing the big moments. It's the small everyday things, the conversations, the shared jokes, the comfort of knowing that somebody's there. And when that's gone, it leaves a void that can feel impossible to fill. The bed feels too big, the house too quiet, and life in general feels daunting to face alone. Now, one of the most difficult aspects of losing a spouse is a fear of the future, because your spouse wasn't just a partner in life, they were your confidant, your support system, the one who understood you better than anyone else. And when they're gone, you're left to face a future that's completely unknown and can feel incredibly frightening. And the thing is, it's normal to feel scared, lost and unsure about how to move forward. After all, the future you had planned together is no longer possible. And that can be terrifying. So it's important to acknowledge these fears and slowly begin to think about how you can start to rebuild your life. It's not always easy, but taking small steps towards finding your new normal is a crucial part of the healing process. Now, grief isn't just emotional, it's practical too. You see, when your spouse passes away, you might suddenly find yourself having to manage things that they always took care of, like finances. And this can be overwhelming, especially if you're having to deal with bills, funeral costs, hospital fees, on top of everything else. And you know, it's okay to feel like you can't handle it all, because no one expects you to do it alone. Now, if you're struggling, don't be afraid to reach out for help, whether it's a trusted family member, a friend, or a financial advisor, because there are people who can support you through this. You don't have to carry this burden by yourself. It's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to lean on others when you need to. You know, every marriage is unique, which means every grief experience is unique too. Maybe you were married for decades and have children and grandchildren together. Or perhaps you never had kids and spent your time as a close-knit couple. Or perhaps your marriage was going through a rough patch when your spouse passed away. No matter what your situation, the loss of a spouse is deeply personal. There's no one-size-fits-all to grieve, and that, my friends, is okay. What matters the most is that you take care of yourself and your needs during this difficult time. Grieving is exhausting mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And that's why taking care of yourself is so important. A little alone time is fine, but make it a priority to connect with others, even when it feels hard. Reach out to friends, family, or support groups because you don't have to go through this alone. Do something kind for yourself each day, even if it's something small. It's about nurturing your soul during a time of deep pain. Grief is painful, so treat yourself with compassion. Allow yourself the time and space to feel your emotions. Remember, it's okay to cry. It's okay to have those days when you don't feel like doing anything. And it's okay to lower your expectations of yourself right now. Healing takes time and you don't have to rush the process. Grief is a natural response to loss, and it's important to remember that while the pain you might be feeling now feels unbearable, it won't always be this way. When you give your grief the love and attention it needs, the sharpness of your grief will soften and you'll begin to find moments of peace and even joy again. So as you move forward, take it one day at a time. Focus on small, manageable steps towards rebuilding your life, and eventually you'll find your new normal, a new way to live and thrive despite your loss. And remember, it's okay to seek out help along the way. So as you navigate this difficult journey of losing a spouse, remember to be kind to yourself, because this is one of the hardest things you'll ever go through. Take care of yourself in healthy ways. Reach out for support and give yourself the time and space you need to heal. So if this message resonated with you, be sure to watch my next video where I'll be talking about losing your identity and how to begin rediscovering who you are. Thank you for joining me today on Nourish and Flourish. Look after yourself, and remember, even in the midst of your grief, you can find ways to nourish your soul and flourish in life. So until next time, take good care. Oh, and if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. So I'll see you in the next one.